Your town has been host to a government conspiracy on the highest of levels. Let me tell you how they're going to cover it up.
But I'm going to strip away this mystery and expose its private part.
I thought to post this audio talk by Whitley Strieber because he's one of those fascinating public figures, successful fictional author who has since become the poster boy for alien abductions, even whilst always denying that he's dealing with aliens. He prefers the term visitors. And in a way, he's sort of like the Bertrand Russell of experiencers, shall we say, or contactees or abductees. Because Bertrand Russell's famous for having changed his philosophical point of view numerous times during his life, and Whitley Strieber has done likewise. Not to compare their philosophical acumen, but just to say that at least Whitley Strieber, if he's being honest with us, has attempted to look at this issue from every vantage point he could possibly think of, beginning with, I might add, supposing that, or identifying these visitors as demons is one of his very first claims. And of course, sometimes it comes across as if Strieber was just minding his own business and all of a sudden these visitors started, well, visiting him, abducting him and doing all kinds of unmentionables to him. But the fact is, he had been involved in all kinds of occult practices throughout the years, and the place where these visitors first made contact with him, first appeared to him, was within his meditation room in his cabin, where he was meditating. In other words, opening up his mind wide open to whomever or whatever is out there waiting for the legal permission to enter in. But long story short, I had always wondered about MK Ultra or Monarch type traumatic based programming or mind control or CIA involvement, which Strieber does admit to having CIA contacts, and he had wondered in the past whether they had been actually manipulating his mind somehow. And well, I mean, I always kept that in the back of my mind that especially if you read the book The Controllers, and I'll put a link to it in the info section, you know that it's quite possible with known technology, I mean technology that's been known for decades, to cause people to have all kinds of hallucinations and implant thoughts into their mind, implant or speak directly into their skulls, whereas the person standing right next to you wouldn't be able to hear it, because it's not a sound wave. It's beamed directly into your skull, and you name it. And I finally ran across this talk by Strieber, which I found utterly fascinating because he gets into these issues. And there's also a video of a supposed alien, and which is, I mean, very obviously just a puppet. I mean, it's obvious. They even interviewed a special effects designer, and he says, yeah, it's, you know, it's a puppet, I could do that. Of course, you don't need an FX designer to tell you that. It's just obvious. It's an obvious fake fraud, a puppet. But they interview Whitley Strieber, and when he looks at it, he gets a bit disturbed, and he says that if it is a fake, then whoever faked it definitely knows how the visitors move, because they move just like that. Well, to me, it's quite clear that, I mean, I don't know who was doing it or what, the Air Force, the CIA, who knows who, but that they were putting him into hypnotic states, maybe using drugs, whatever the case may be, and they were having him interact with these visitors, right? These gray alien looking things, basically just having him interact with puppets so that his jumbled memories would come back to him as if he were having experiences with what he calls visitors. I mean, it's pretty obvious to me. especially after you hear that which he has to say. It'll probably be pretty obvious to you that this guy, I mean, I feel for him. I certainly don't know what the truth is, but it appears to me that he's been badly manipulated, programmed, mind-controlled, and abused. Since I've been posting some videos about Whitley Strieber, I figure I'd tell you my Strieber story. I used to go to a coffee shop that had books available on a shelf, and as long as you were there hanging out drinking coffee, you could just pull one off the shelf and read it. So I read a couple of his books doing that, just hanging out, drinking coffee, reading, drinking coffee, reading, drinking coffee, reading. Anyhow, in one of his books, he points out that symbolism common to alien abduction phenomena is triangles and also eagles. And the very night that I read that in his book, I came home and noticed that on the bottle of the ginger beer I was drinking at the time on a regular basis, there was what? And this is on the bottle itself, on the glass. I don't know what it's called, but it's essentially a watermark on the glass itself. There was a triangle with an eagle within it. You know, it's one of those things that makes you say, alrighty then. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to... I mean, I have no experience with alien abduction whatsoever. Oh, wait a minute, I just figured it out. I've been abducted by aliens, but they just erased my memory of it. That's why I don't know that I have any experience with alien abductions whatsoever. There you go. That's a mind trip right there. That'd be fun to tell somebody who's really paranoid about aliens. Ask them, hey, you ever been abducted by aliens? And if they say no, just tell them, well, you know what that means. They abducted you and just erased your memory. Oh!